What is up, guys? John Papp here from johnpappfitness.com and Acceleration Fitness in Auburn Hills, Michigan. And I'm coming at you with your 5 weekly tips to lose weight, gain strength, and get jacked. Now, this may be episode 14, 15, maybe even 16. I can't even quite remember. And got some stuff in the works that may be released as episode 16 or 15. So we'll see there. But I'm going to get right started, guys. Get your 5 tips here. So number 1 is more of a strength-based focus, and I would say also it can be used for getting jacked or losing weight too, but using plyos. So plyometrics are very, very good. Obviously, that is a pretty well-known fact to build explosive power and speed. And for strength, it's a really great way. So it's not just lifting heavy weights all the time, right? It's also the light speed work and jumps and plyos and whatnot. But when you do them, make sure you control the reps, all right? A lot of people think that they can just do 100 box jumps straight and that's perfect, you know, the perfect optimal thing. Now, what you want to do is you want to control the reps and the rest periods. So plyometrics are very taxing on the body, so you want to be able to control for those, right? Control the rest periods, but you also want to control the reps. So usually when I do plyometrics myself is, you know, I don't really go over 5 reps, to be honest. So pretty much over 5 is a little too much from my own experiences coaching and doing them myself. So I like to stay in that 3 to 5 rep range, depending on what kind of plyometric it is. For example, if it's like bounding broad jumps, then obviously you have to string together a few there to get them to work right. But box jumps, you know, broad jumps, lateral jumps, stuff like that, it's all going to be not over 5 reps, under 5 reps. And with controlled rest periods of at least, you know, 45 seconds, upwards of 90 seconds, minute and a half. So that's number 1. That'll help you a lot in gaining strength. And that's also good just for general physical preparedness, you know, GPP, just for the average person, for, you know, if they're a weekend warrior, you know, playing flag football or whatever, they just want to be more explosive, more athletic. It helps. So that's number 1, kind of ranted there. But now number 2, try new things when it's related to fitness. So that can be styles, exercises, programming, you know, rep schemes, rest periods, all that stuff. But then also on the nutrition side of things, where as foods, you know, different types of maybe diets or, you know, different things like that. You know, there's no better way to learn than to experience it yourself. So try new things, you know, try conjugate, try, you know, the Arnold bodybuilding type programming, try higher rest periods, try lower rest periods, try, you know, whatever it happens to be. Try CrossFit, try bodybuilding, try powerlifting, you know, whatever it is, gymnastics. Try all those different things so then you can learn from them, and then you can make your own programming based on all of those, right? So not one program is the ultimate. Depends on what you want, obviously your goals, and depends on you yourself. So you got to kind of pull from everywhere, learn what works for you, learn what doesn't work, learn what you like, learn what you don't like, and then kind of ultimately put it together. And that's a very long process. That takes years and years and years, right? But that is what you should be doing, is pulling from here, pulling from there, to make your ultimate program. So that is number 2. Number 3, conditioning work for everyone. That doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight, obviously you should be doing some kind of conditioning. If you're trying to gain strength or get jacked, all right? So conditioning kind of falls in that GPP category, that general physical preparedness. Everybody should have a certain base level of conditioning. Now it's going to be obviously higher and lower for different people, ages, you know, genetics and specificity of what they're doing, if they're training for powerlifting or bodybuilding or CrossFit or running. Obviously that's going to be a lot different, but everyone still should be doing conditioning work. And that can be as simple as, you know, bike sprints or actual running sprints, or, you know, sleds, carries, all kinds of stuff you can use as conditioning work. Rowers. It doesn't have to be just running or jogging. In fact, that's not really what you want to do unless you're a runner, right? at long, slow distance. So everyone should include some kind of conditioning work into their programming. For example, I do about 2 to 3 days of some conditioning work, usually on my rest days, which is kind of another side tangent, is using conditioning for active recovery. So I use it after upper body and lower body day. So I do upper lower or lower upper back to back, and then I'll take a third day where it's just lighter conditioning. I do sled sprints with literally the Rogue Dog sled, just empty, just sprint as fast as you can, 20, 30, maybe even 40 yards, rest, and basically do repeats that way. But you can also use many different methods for that, but that's what I like to do, and it kind of helps me recover, helps my legs and lower body recover, and keeps me moving, so I'm not just sitting around going, oh my God, I'm so sore, everywhere hurts. Gets me moving, I feel better when I do it, and I build my conditioning, build that aerobic base. So I would really recommend that for everyone. Number 4, loaded carries. Now, me and my dude, Matt Van Suren here, he's a head strength and conditioning coach. We were talking shop, talking meathead talk, and we were talking about how we really like loaded carries for everyone, right? Doesn't matter if you're an athlete or non-athlete, no matter what your sport is. If you're not in sport, just for general fitness, loaded carries are one of the best ways to train your whole body, but especially to train your core, right? So I know core is an often overused word, but I'm gonna use it, your core. So loaded carries are awesome because there's so many different variations you can do to change things up, but they challenge your whole body, right? So I'm actually gonna make a video soon, probably after this video, but I'll link it up, of different variations of loaded carries that you can do. And there's some great stuff that will challenge. Literally, you can have an upper body focus, lower body. You could superset it with things. For example, the sled sprints I was talking about, me and my boy Jimmy, last week, he's one of my training partners, for one of our conditioning days, we combined sled sprints with the empty sled and farmer's walks. Moderately heavy, but not too crazy. And we would just alternate. One push the sled down and back, carry down and back, alternate, right? And that was great because it was more of a lower body focus, because you push the sled, then you gotta carry the farmer's walk handles, and they're decently heavy, so it's gonna challenge, your whole lower body, but it's also in your core, your traps, your upper back, your arms, everything. And there's so many different variations. You can, make it more shoulder specific with overhead stuff or bottoms up. You can make it uneven, so you can have one side stronger than the other, so you have to resist that pull of the higher weight on no matter whichever side you decide to put it on, right? So loaded carries are great. Number 5, this is more of a nutrition thing. Don't be afraid of cheat meals or days. We tell our clients this all the time, but cheat meals / days, depending on how you're running your nutrition program, are pretty much there to keep you sane. And there's also a physiological basis behind it, but the biggest thing is it's going to keep you sustainable and on that, right? If you're trying to go clean 100% of the time, good luck staying on that, all right? I don't know anybody who can do that unless you're in a contest prep or weight cut for a contest, no matter a sport, whatever it happens to be. But even then, there's a physiological purpose behind the cheat days that will help your metabolism, but also help your psychologically. So don't be afraid of them. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's gonna ruin my whole week if I have one cheat meal. Don't worry, it's not gonna ruin your week if you're consistent, throughout the whole week, and then the weekend comes, you go out with your friends, with your significant other, you have a cheat meal. Don't worry, all right? So they're there for a reason, and yeah, basically don't worry. So that's all I got for you guys. This is episode 15 or 16, whatever I decided to put it as, but that is all I got for you. So check out my website, johnpapfitness.com, for articles, and also I'm starting to bring in other authors from people that I really know can add value to you and your training. So I'm bringing in other authors on the site, people that I trust and know what they're talking about. So trying to get a lot more content on there. Still in the works, but it's coming, all right? Then check me out on the Instagrams, John Pap Fitness, at John Pap Fitness, Snapchat, J-Pap, and accelerationfit.com is the gym website, and that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you hit subscribe below. That's it, guys. Chase it this week.